and welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. I am Lala, international real estate agent and your host for today. And we've got a hot topic that's all about love and money and protecting your assets. Rapper Lil Baby recently made headlines by saying legal marriage is off the table for him. He claims it's the only way to protect his wealth and a test for true love. Now, this has sparked a lot of conversation about prenups, legal contracts, and whether marriage is about love or business. So today we're digging into the money side of the relationship and how to protect your finances and whether prenups are the answer and how to have these conversations in a way that's fair for everyone involved. So let's talk about love, money, and legal contracts that can make or break it all. And all I can think now is that Prince song, Love or Money. I am here with my royal court, Marla Layston, TV and film producer, Athena Gardner, our CPA and wealth coach, and Tierra Williams, producer and actress. And we have a lot to say. First of all, it's Monday, everybody. It's Monday the 13th. We are marching on in this year. We would love to hear what you have to say about this, because you know we don't just talk at you. We talk with you, all right? So we want to see what you got to say about this. But let's go ahead and kick it off with this video.
Marriage is a big jump. That's that's sharing finances, that's sharing emotions.
That's what I ain't sharing my finances.
Oh, so if you even thought about marriage, instantly it's prenup.
I don't even prenups, like, and now young people don't even be knowing, like, prenups don't mean that. There's no thing that you can marry a woman and then she don't get nothing. It's ways for her to get something regardless. So even once y'all get married. So man, I'll give a girl $10 million ring, $10 million wedding, no paperwork. That's my offer.
So I mean, so we not married.
I vowed to death do us part. We married.
Just no
paperwork. You know? And that could change when I get older, but I don't really see that.
Because it's just a sheet of paper.
No, it's not just a sheet of paper. It's something that actually stands.
Oh.
And if we sign it and all that, now we got to go through the worst of it. And I'm not thinking of the worst ever, but I still got to think of that type of stuff.
What about if you, God forbid, go back to prison and then, you can't see her because you're not.
I wouldn't give a damn. Yeah,
what if you're in the hospital and you can't see her?
I wouldn't give a damn, man.
Okay.
I think he's got it twisted, y'all. I think he's got it twisted. It doesn't matter if you have that paper or not. So I'm sorry. I know that there are a lot of couples that I have friends that have done this and it never turned out right. So here's my initial question, quick rapid answer to all of my queens here. Would you consider being married without the legal paper? Tierra?
Yes.
Athena?
Hell no. To the no.
Marlo? Your turn, Marlo.
I don't know. I need more information, y'all. I don't know what this is. I don't know.
No, in the middle.
I need more information. I gotta phone a friend.
I think what's happening is here they're confusing a lot of things, because there is a spiritual aspect to it, a traditional aspect to it, and then there's also legality. But you don't necessarily have to have the legal part of it for a woman to be with you. It's called common law, and it also depends on what state you're in. So if you have been together for a certain amount of time and then you split up, you don't have to have that legality. It's still considered common law. So Tierra, do you think that love and money should be kept separate, or do you think that they naturally overlap in a relationship?
I think they naturally overlap, right? I think people tend to, it just depends on the setup, right? There's people that get married they are put together for business transactions, right? The arranged marriages of the world. There is no love. That love is created afterwards. In America, we got to love first, and then we go forward with the other things. So, it just depends on the way you look at it.
I think so too, but immediately we got a response back that JDW said, why no? And I'm pretty sure that's for you, Athena. Why no? What are you gaining?
So I come from a traditional household, and there's certain expectations for me and my culture and my parents and my family and the values that I hold. I am not tying myself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, birthing children, sharing time, space, and energy with a man, especially the birthing children part, because children are more of a commitment than marriage, in my opinion. But we all up and down that slip and slide, and where has that gotten us as a group generationally, as far as wealth is concerned and advancement in society? Nowhere. We just posted a video about George Fraser saying how our marriage rates are going to be close to 16% from the 34% it is, and the implications for what that has in our community. So I don't care if you are richer, the richest man on earth, and your money is stacked taller than the Burj Khalifa. I am not going to allow a man to clip me, have children, spend time, all this other stuff without having that legal recognition.
I agree with you on that. I agree on that. And so that's a question that I want to lead to you, Marlo, because listen, psychologically, if you know that you don't have that, you in your heart honestly don't flow with that. But then again, the infidelity rates are so high. We hear about that all the time. We've heard of recent things that are happening within the actress world who ended up sending a cheating video to her family chat to let everybody know her husband fooled around on her, and they've been married for a long time. So, do you think that it really matters if you have that legal paper or not? You're still responsible for what your actions are?
I think the way that people behave, it doesn't seem like it, right? Because people act single in marriage, people be married acting single, so I don't know. I think the behavior is very individual, right? It's on the person, because to be in a marriage, to be committed, it requires a lot of self-control. It requires you to say no to certain things that you may want to do certain things that you absolutely have to do. And I think that when you somebody like Lil Baby, when you have this, the world is my oyster mindset, and people open doors for you, and things are just seem to be endless, I can see why he would say that he doesn't want that, right? Because his whole situation is fleeting. Fans are fleeting, girls are fleeting. The whole thing is like kind of touch and go. So it's individual, but I think if you're looking for a future set foundational partnership, then marriage is the way to go. There isn't another recourse, because in death, you say, well, I'm not going to say divorce, right? In death, you'll be left holding a bag of nothing for all of your contribution and effort and work, right? So what outcome do you want, right? You think about the outcome that you want, and then you move forward accordingly. That's what I think.
Well, here's what I found interesting. In the interview, he talked about, what if you go back to jail? And he was like, I don't give a damn. What if such and such? I don't give a damn. Well, to me, you already done shot everything down. I don't need your $10 million ring. I don't need your $100,000 wedding. Your attitude tells me everything I need to know. But I want to pull up some of the comments that were put up on Instagram about this interview, because I think they're very interesting. So let's kind of check out what some people are thinking outside of us. So T says, successful men just got wise. It's about to be a lot more single moms and women who got to hold their own weight. The days of taking nicas, changes how they want to spell this, to the bank are over. Right? I mean, really? Are you kidding me on that? That one took me straight out, y'all. Fran says, I hate to say it, but he's right. And then Mr. Unapologetic says, yep, just stay single and protect your assets, fellas. Okay, that's enough of that right now, because I want to get right back into this, because I don't think you are. All of that is still up in the air. Especially if you're procreating and you have children, there is nothing different. You are still going to have to take care of those children. I think that their thinking is backwards, and it just doesn't make sense. And they think that they're protecting themselves when actuality they're hurting themselves. Because what if he ends up going to the hospital and he has no paper saying that his partner is to take care of him. And he doesn't have anyone else to speak for him immediately. His partner can't step in and say, I have the legal right to, this is what he wants. So, there's a whole lot of things that is involved in this. So my question to you, Tiara, is what's your opinion on prenups? Are they a sign of distrust or smart planning?
Well, before we get there, I just want to say, in Lil Baby's defense, in the beginning, he said, this may change. My mind may change about this. He also said, I'm not mad at the idea of getting married. He said, I think he wants to marry Jada. That's the thing. He wants to marry her. He just doesn't legally want to put himself in a situation, because I think that for rich men and men that, have done well for themselves, this whole, like, she wasn't what you shooting in the gym, but she's going to take half, this whole idea, let's not act like women don't get in situations to then take advantage of rich men. Like, let's just sit there for a second and not act like every woman is like us, right? Women that'll hold you down, come in, and there's a lot more women out there that are like that, that'll take advantage, that'll put him, drag him, whatever, than women like us. Now, he happens to have a woman who is an entrepreneur. Jada is she has her own success in her own right. And I think as long as they can figure out for themselves what this relationship looks like and decide, there has to be an agreement between the two of them. What I hear is, I don't want the government in my business, but if I'll do whatever you want, I'll give you a $10 million wedding, a $10 million ring, but I'm just not doing their paperwork. But let's figure it out between us. He seems generous. He's not saying you can't have none of my money. He's not saying that. That's not what he's saying. But I understand. I understand from that perspective. Now, do I think that prenups can put protections on situations? Absolutely. Again, some women ain't what you shooting in the gym. You should have a prenup. What is she bringing to the table outside of sex and looking like a Instagram model, depending on the woman that you choose, right? So I think while he's this young, and opportunities are endless, he has this young lady that has been with him, they have a child together, all of that. I think we should look at the whole picture and not just say, like, listen to like the little sound bites that make us emotional, and just say, like, this might actually not be what we're making it out to be.
I can agree with that and I can go with that. I'm usually very open minded, but what I'm finding is this younger generation wants it all. The young ladies want it all from them a lot of the times, and it's tough to get them to want to do things, because you do have a lot of ladies that just bounce around the people who have the money. And then I'm also seeing men saying the same thing, because we've had many different shows where we've talked about men and having all these baby mamas, and I think that it leaves a void for humanity in there. I still think if the child grows up and sees that daddy's name is not on the birth certificate or whatever, or however they choose to do it, now you have a whole nother generation that has to heal from certain traumas. My days, when I was born, my parents weren't married. Okay. And another thing, I ain't afraid to say it now. My daddy was 35. My mother was 18. And at that time, you weren't allowed to put the father's name on the birth certificate if they weren't married. My father snuck to do it. That's how important that it was for him. So I don't know how I feel about this, other than, yes, you have to make it for your own self. But what are we instilling in this generation that should be important about the institution of marriage? And we're going to get back into this conversation. We'll be right back.
Hey, if you're just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. I am Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I am the proud producer of this show. So I hope that every day when you join us, you leave a little smarter than you came, because that's the point. Otherwise, why are you watching? So if you want to receive notices for when we go live, Fly Nubian Money goes live every single day. That's Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you don't know, now you know. All you have to do is text the word Queens. That's Queens. That's Queens to 87948.
That's 87948. That's Queens to 87948. Yes? If you want.
Simple, easy. All you got to do, use this little device right here, this one right there, and tell it that you want to be notified every time that the Fly Nubian Money Queens go live. And you do that, take the word Queens, QUEENS, to 87948. Okay? That's really, really simple. It's really simple. I love getting my notifications every day. So I want to dive back into this. Athena, I know you deal with taxes, but this also is a part of marriage, right? So do you really think that people understand what prenups are, or do you think they understand how they work?
I think much of what is happening is that we take these situations and try to apply it to the average common person. And that is not true. So with prenuptial agreements, most people don't get them because they don't have anything to really protect over before they even get married. So that is the thing. And then I think there's this misconception that, all right, as long as I don't get married, that there will be no financial consequence. If you plan on staying with her long term, that is automatically a common law marriage, which is fully recognized in about 10 states with full recognition and limited recognition in others. So even if you end a common law marriage, it is still considered legally binding. And to end that relationship, a couple may need to go through a formal divorce process just as they would with a traditional marriage. So my issue with us as a community is that it always seems like we're trying to find these loopholes to avoid being the adults that we need to be. And being married does require you to be an adult, because there are consequences when you don't, one, take time to vet and choose a proper partner, but two, do things to cause damage and harm to a relationship to where someone would want to leave you, and you face the financial consequences that you may face. Now, prenups, if you are a man of wealth, which most men aren't, right? Because what is the stat? 6% of U.S. Black adults make 100K or more. So this is a conversation, once again, that most men in this chat, like Limitless, does not qualify for. But for the ones who do make 100, 150, 250, 500K, if the apprehension is money, then of course you can put a prenup in and have some form of protections. But I always find, and I discussed this on a podcast recently, is that what especially in the situation of men, what is being asked for, the emotional support, the love, the cook food and clap cheeks like cooking with Kaya, all of that is supposed to be the premium value. But as soon as it comes to the brass tacks and the relationship got to end, that had no value, that had no significance, that was of no consequence, and only the dollars matter. So I think people need to have clarity around what is the real value. Is it that do I need to just keep working my job because you have this fear that I'm going to take everything? And if the money is really what the value is, then why you need me here? Because once again, yes, you are doing this, but you can listen. There's people who had $200 million generational homes that are homeless today because of a fire. Right? You do not know what the life may bring you. Just like Lala said with DNR rights, you want to find someone you can weather storms with and provide values that you may not know that you need. And what I find, especially with our community, is that we wait till we 50, 60, things gonna start turning down. I need to make sure I can find someone that can push this wheelchair and sign this paperwork if need be, this power attorney, this healthcare surrogate paperwork, because I was just focused on this money, which the IRS, the tax, the government, or a wildfire can take away in 2 seconds. So we need to really get back to basis, foundation, community, love, and respect, and being an adult instead of trying to come up with these alternative relationships and nonsense and avoiding to do the things that we have to do.
I have to agree with that. I think we do have to get back to basics, but it also depends on how it's everybody's personal right to make the decision of how they want to lay that out. But overall, I think we have gotten so far from just the humanity basics that we are lost, and it's going to take us a long time to get back. Now, Eric Younger said, a man is to be a protector and a provider for women and children. Yes, I agree, Eric. However, the question is, do you have to have that piece of paper to make that valid, Or do you feel that it can be done without that paperwork? So, Marlo, I have a question for you. So what should people look for in a prenup to make sure it's fair for both sides?
Well, if I may be blunt, when I was married, I married the percentage of men that did not need a prenup. So I have no idea. I know that from watching prenups from afar, it seems as both people have to be involved, right? I've watched enough Basketball Wives and Real Housewives to know that when the two are going through the prenuptial process, right? You got to be aligned in that, right? Because you're saying on top of this governmental contract, right? Because that's what the marriage is. You sign your government paperwork, we married. On top of that, you have this legal binding document, right? So I think anytime you get into a legal agreement with any person, place, or thing, you need to be paying attention. You need to understand, you need to stand your ground. And you need to know what you want to, what best results, right? I think people do stuff and they don't think about the results. You don't think about what's on the end. What is it that you want to get out of it? Do you want to leave with all your things, right? Do you want to leave with the things that you came with and ensure that that person does the same? Do you want to leave with what you came with, what you built on your own, and then things that y'all got somewhere in the middle? Y'all want to split that up amicably? Like, what is the purpose? If it's only to protect your little pot of gold, then it's going to be contentious, right? If you really want to marry me, if we are in love, fairy tale, blah, blah, bloop, right? Then we need to go to the lawyers, right? Have a mediation where everybody understands what they're asking for, what they're getting. We need to also sit down and say, hey, in 10 years, we might not think the same way. Should we, if we're still in this here union in a decade, you probably should renew that contractual obligation that you made with that person. But we like to do things so frivolously and unimportantly, and everything is just a silly fight or anger and madness that we're really not thinking things through. And I think that a prenuptial agreement, it protects the people involved. That's the purpose of it. Protects your finances. And I think that you have to go into it, stating your intentions and not pretending on some love BS or some pressure because your mama said you need to get a prenup or your homeboy said. No, you need to go in there with clarity because it's the person that you're supposed to be rocking with the distance, right? And we need to go in there as a unit. That's your that's what you are. Y'all are a unit. I ain't married money, but I understood the concept of the married and things of that nature and partnership. I think that we got to prioritize partnership, and people are not doing that. People all into bodies and faces and jobs and status and all the bullshit that, like Athena so eloquently pointed out, burns up in the fire. Right? Get
Right.
to protect what is important.
Right. And I also think that could be tied into what a lot of people are not doing now is the premarital counseling. I think I think whether you do it with a minister or whether you go to a therapist or whatever, I think that is a huge part of what people need to do. I'm happy to say we did. It brought up things, and for those who are just joining the show and don't know who we are, I've been married for over 30 years, but a part of that was we did go to marital counseling before, and we ended up talking about things that we hadn't talked about before that was important to us, and had those things aired out, and then really had tough decision talking about them. So I think that's really important. But I would like to go to some stats because I want you to kind of look at how this is looking in today's world, and how that looks for our society right now. So the financial transparency in relationships. Financial infidelity. Approximately 43% of U.S. adults who have combined finances in relationships admit to committing financial deception, such as hiding purchases or accounts. And we all see the stuff like people be showing, I'm going to hide my husband. I'm going to hide these bags until my husband is not in the house, right? We see those. Impact on relationships. A 2018 study shows that 76% of married couples involved in financial infidelity say the experience negatively impacted their relationship, and 10% got divorced over it. Then generational differences. Younger generations are more prone to financial infidelity, with 67% of Generation Z and 57% of millennials admitting to such behavior, compared to 34% of Generation X and 33% of baby boomers. I think that's something for us to think about, but I know that we have to go to break. I would love to hear some more comments from our family who always joins us out there. I would love to hear what you have to say, not just us. Come on, talk about it. But we'll be right back after this break.
You want to grow your money and not blow your money, as Constance says? Check us out at flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, programs, videos, resources. In 2024, there's no reason to be broke when there's information all around us. So get your money right. flynubianmoney.com.
Get your money right. FlyNubianMoney.com. Listen, it's 2025. That bell's done tolled. We done knocked down that final countdown, and we are in this new year and halfway through January. So if you have not looked at your finances, this is the perfect time to do it today. Right now, today, go to flynubianmoney.com. We have a lot of resources there for you, because if you don't know where to start, this could just well get you started. You know, I always like to say that if you have a goal, but you don't even see where the starting line is, you can't even see the goal. So you have to start somewhere. And maybe some of you are afraid to even look at your finances. Sometimes we just like, oh God, I just did Christmas. What the heck is going to happen, right? But if you find that you need a little bit of help, that's what our website is for. So go to flynubianmoney.com, get your free resources, and then start your financial journey. Now, Limitless, I love you, but guess what? I'm not going to be dealing with that right now. You're acting like the man is the only one that has any kind of benefits to marriage. But I also know that women the same way. Look at the cases of I'm gonna throw a kink in this, y'all. Look at what Janet Jackson did. The only reason that Janet Jackson got married is, you know darn well, her prenup was like $500 million. And if she had a kid and they stayed married for 5 years, she got money. And that's what she did. And the minute that she served her time with that billionaire and had that baby, she backed out. Okay. And the only reason she got married is because for her, the legal part, the paper was the part. But what good did it do? So yes, that's a billionaire situation, but there are women that also are much more financially stable than men. So this is not a one-way street, Limitless, and we're not having that here today.
Well, I also just want to add that I forgot the book that I read, but remember the book that we discussed here on, and I forgot it because I brought it up, but it was saying that basically a married woman or a woman in relationship automatically adds 15 hours of, unpaid labor to her schedule, managing schedules, making dinner. A good woman, anonymous, a good woman, Limitless, is who I'm talking about. Not a woman that's sitting around like twiddling her fingers and just like, whatever, I'm just here. I just want your money. Like, we're not talking about those women. We talking about the women that hold it down at work, that are partners, right? So you can talk about what a woman doesn't bring to the table, but we all know what a good woman will do. Even if you're successful, I think, Limitless say he has 5 investment properties, and good for you. If you got a good woman with you, she's gonna 2x, 3x that. Y'all gonna walk away with something way bigger, because that's what a woman does. You give her a situation, she's gonna elevate it. A good woman is gonna elevate it. So let's stop playing like women ain't out here changing men's lives and holding it down. A lot of billionaires that we see, a lot of successful men that we see would not be the men they are without their women. Quit playing.
Exactly. And that's what we are talking about. We are talking about good women. So, but I am going to tag on to what you said, Tier. So how do you think Lil Baby's stance on marriage reflects concerns about protecting wealth?
One more time.
When we elevate.
Ask me that question one more time, because you were going in and out.
Okay. How do you think that Little Baby's stance on marriage reflects the concerns about protecting wealth when you just sit up there and said that we elevate? A good woman will elevate.
Yeah, I think he gets. I think he gets the benefit of a good woman. That's why he looks over at her and says, "I'll make her my wife, but we got to have another agreement between us, as opposed to me signing this paperwork." And so, if the young lady is with it, then to each its own. They have a situation that they figured out for each other. What I've seen in my lifetime is that marriage doesn't always work. Let's be honest, y'all. Marriage doesn't work for everyone. It's worked for Lala. It works sometime for Marlo, because Marlo's gonna get married again. It's gonna work, right? So it works, but it really takes two committed individuals who see a vision and a goal. I'm gonna tell you, one of the things that I absolutely will not do is marry a man without a vision. Marry a man that can't see us. It's like, I'm gonna get in your car and I'm gonna support you, but where are you taking me? Where are we going? If the answer is nowhere, and then so I'm gonna just say this. Maybe Lil Baby got a vision. Right now he's very young. Like, I mean, if this man was 40 years old with this same conversation, it would be a problem. But him being in his 20s, I'm not too worried about it, because he seems like a good kid.
He
So
30.
he's 30. Okay, well, he'll figure it out in 10 years or so. But like he said, he might change his mind. Who knows? But he seems like a good little dude. So hopefully he figures it out.
Actually,
Or
he
he's
does.
gonna do what's best for him.
I read up on him, and Jada he gave her something before he went in, and she tripled it and doubled it and then gave it back to him when he got out of jail. So, and he has said that, he may rethink that as well. But I think that there is a fear, because we hear so many terrible, because that's all you hear. You only hear the terrible stuff. No one ever really wants to report on the good stuff. That it is putting a fear into these young adults. Now, Big Mac says, I honestly don't care about the money. I'd rather hand over my check and tips to my significant other, and she can handle the finances. Okay, Athena, I'm going to ask you, is that something that you would be willing to do in a marriage?
With Big Mac.
With Big Mac?
Hand over them tips, Big
Shout
Mac.
out to Mr. Machiavelli. I was on his podcast the other day, and we was talking about 50-50 and why I don't support it. But anyway, I'm not in the mindset, the mood, or have the constitution to be basically profane to men and begging them to see the value of marriage. Ladies, get along and align with people who see the value of the things that you value, right? If you don't want, I should not have to be telling you the adding 10 more years to your lifespan, and increase in tax benefits and all the litany of things, right? Because your mindset is already saying that this is something that you don't want. Right. So even if I was coming with the litany of things that there are, because it shows that married men out earn, make more money, have decrease in loneliness, decrease in depression, longevity, all these other things, right?
They live longer.
What is the value of 10 more years of your life, right? But I'm not, if you want to not have that, you deserve and have the right, and women are signing up for it, because obviously all these ladies are being baby mama left, right, and center, and have no problem without not requiring a ring first. So you just align with who is on your mindset. And I think that's what we need to do with this conversation, and stop arguing or pretending to people who are not allowed. We're trying to convince people to do stuff that they want to do, right? And that is why, as a Black community, we don't get the respect that we always breathing down the nose trying to get, because a lot of us ain't doing respectable things. Okay, a lot of us are not doing respectable shit. But then we get upset when people act and do certain things. So y'all need to line up where y'all want to line up, right?
Exactly.
Y'all need to line up where y'all want to line up. Everything about the government in a business, and I make $125K in rental property. You can still have a street urchin mindset and make $125K in rental property. Like, I want to debunk the myth that dustiness is only a financial aspect. I've dated plenty of rich men that made more than $125K that had a dusty mindset, and I had to leave them in the dust where they was at too, right? Because at the end of the day, what I feel is happening is most men, okay, I understand the fear of being financially abused and taken advantage of, and there are precautions that you can take in place. But to then say and diminish a woman's value because it may not be financial. And then to even put that in perspective, when it comes to Black women specifically, most Black women are not hypergamous because most Black women are contributors in their household or contribute more financially. So that is why I always say, why are we having this conversation? Because this conversation don't apply to us. And then when it seemed like Becky, Marisol, and Ling Ling are trying to come up on y'all, blatant in your face, like Travis Hunter and all these other situations, nobody have a problem. Nobody have a problem. But let a woman like Lil Baby, baby mama, want to get married. She already had a kid for you, all this other stuff. It's a problem. And it's a mindset that is degenerate in our community.
Oof. I don't know what to say. I don't know if I need to fan myself or I don't know where to go after that, because she did lay it down. But now listen,
blazing.
we were not playing with that answer. So Marlo, all right, we'll follow up with this one. But listen, we are talking about
Rude and unusual punishment right here.
Right. Well, listen, Little Baby is worth, let's pull up his worth. I think he's like 8 million is what his worth is right now. So, you know, this is a different game for people who have money in this thing. So, Marlo, do you think that regular people like us apply the same principles of wealth protection to their relationships?
I mean, I think you should protect what you have, even if it is a pair of knocked around Air Force Ones, right? Like whatever you have, if it's yours, take care of it, honey. I'm an advocate for that. But I think that what we haven't touched on today is really a cultural issue, right? I don't know Lil Baby's and Jada's parental status, right? I don't know if they know they both parents, daddy where he is, mama and daddy ever got married. I don't know what that is. But I know that we have generations of young people who've not seen marriage. They haven't seen granny married. They haven't seen mom married. Maybe auntie kind of looked like she was married, but then you saw uncle on the other side of town doing stuff. So you don't know, like as a kid, I think that older generations, mine included, have not done a great job of showing responsible relationship to young people. And I think that what he said, and I like the fact that he was clear enough to say, hey, down the line, this may change, but right now where I am, I'm not trying to do that. And I think they don't see the value in it because a lot of people didn't see it. A lot of people didn't see marriage. So how you value something that appears to be a fairy tale? How do you value something then? It seemed like a fairy tale. Then you get into this industry and the same girls that wouldn't speak to you on Peachtree Street are chasing you in Los Angeles. It doesn't make any sense, right? So I think that there's this distrust, but there's also you have not seen it. And what you've seen is a lot of people act crazy. You've seen a lot of women who will let you knock them down and you leave $1,000 on a dresser and they good with that, right? And $1,000 you made $10,000 just by showing up somewhere. So I think that there's just a lot of mixed value messaging that young people are getting. And I think that this is him expressing the mixed value messaging, the gold digger culture that I don't know if it exists, if it's real, if it's not, people be capping. I don't know what, I stay in my little hole, so I don't know what the hell going on outside. But I think that he's just reflecting a lack of reverence for marriage throughout certain pockets of Black culture. Obviously not all, right? Everybody's different. But when we look at our marriage numbers, there's certainly been a decline in the 30 years that Lil Baby has been alive. So I think that, a lot of factors that are at work and culture is certainly one of them.
I agree. And let's also talk about matters of the heart. Nobody wants their heart broken, period. And I think a lot of that also outside of people's money and wealth and pockets, some people are also protecting their heart, because a lot of times when these relationships fall apart, it's because someone done cheated or someone is not as dedicated to the relationship as the other. And matters of the heart can cause you to also want to hurt the other party. And whether that is financial or spiritual or whatever, it can go, everything goes hand in hand. We are all made up of different things, and we have to understand that matters of the heart usually is the root of this. Okay, so let's take a little break and we'll be right back.
Fly Nubian Money is now on Spotify. Yes, yes, yes. We are on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, you can listen to us. All you have to do is search Fly Nubian Money and we will appear. All of our episodes. Make sure that you leave a 5-star rating and reviews so other people that come along and are looking for a good show to watch, they'll follow us too. If you are interested in being on Fly Nubian Money, sorry, I don't have any spaces. I'm just playing. If you are interested in being a queen or a king on Fly Nubian Money for the day, please reach out to me. I'm at info@realvirtual.net. That's info@realvirtual.net. Also, if you need help with your business, go ahead and send me an email for that too. Okay. I've said enough. Now back to the show.
So you already know that you don't want to miss a show. We love to hear your comments, and I know that sometimes you just get busy. Life be lifing, but you want to know what we're talking about. So all you have to do is just head on over to Spotify. Make sure that you download that, then look for us. Look for us, Fly Nubian Money, because you can take us on the go. If you got to take that jog, if you got that business meeting that you need to do, then you can catch us later. But make sure you go over there and give us a 5-star rating so that other people can find us as well. Now, with that being said, that business meeting may be holding you back from seeing us. But hey, who's doing your work while you're in that business meeting? It's really easy. You need some help. Delegate. Okay, so you can do that by emailing us at our magic email address at info@realvirtual.net. info@REELVIRTUAL.net. Let us help you concentrate on more important things while we help you get the back end going and rolling. All right, seamless. It's completely seamless. So, all right, now listen. I do have a question. Let's talk about the future. Now, we do have, I am married on the panel. We have Marlo, you're engaged. Okay. Look at she said too. That's how I feel about my husband too, Marlo. He's mine. I'm gonna keep him. So, Tira, you're single. So I want to ask you, how do you think, as an unmarried woman at this time, how can you plan for the future with your possible spouse while still protecting individual finances? Because, honey, I know you talented and you got a lot of things going on. So listen, you got things to worry about too.
Yeah, I can't worry about the man that's coming and potentially coming. I have to, he'll come whenever, he's sent to me. Whenever the moment is right and he's been attracted to me is when I'll meet him. In the meantime, what I can do about Tiara is make sure that Tiara is whole, Tiara is secure financially and spiritually, and my mental health is right. So like there are all these things that I can do just to make myself better as a person, have more empathy. I listen to a lot of men. I listen to a lot of my married friends. I listen to a little bit of everybody, just trying to get the lesson and understand it. And so, although I am dating and seeing different people and just doing my thing, right? There's a certain kind of man that I would want to attract, and they have to have the right spirit for me. And so until that man comes, then I'm just gonna be here just preparing. And to be honest, I'm not saying I don't need a man, but I'm just saying if the right person, if the right person doesn't come, if I don't meet the right person, which I will, but if they didn't, I think I would be perfectly fine with that too. Maybe. I just have some friends, honey. Look, I just have some friends. But
I get it because you know what? You can't put your whole life on hold while you're waiting for that possible partner to come along. You're not sitting back twiddling your thumbs. So I'm going to pose the same question to you, Athena. What does that look like for you? How would you want to plan your future with your future spouse while protecting your finances? Because you are a very successful businesswoman.
Listen, there's a lot of things I want to say, but this is not the platform to say it. So I'm going to leave that stuff behind the curtain. What I will say is this: we never discuss the financial abuse women face when there is an income disparity and the man makes more. A lot of times in those relationships where the man is the high earner, like Lil Baby in his situation, there can be a lot of financial abuse done to the partner who does not have the money. They have less say so, or more restrictions or confinement, or have to live in this fear of voicing an opinion, or making certain requests, or diminish themselves to acquiesce because the fear of this person leaving them, replacing them, or treating them as disposable because of the wealth that they have happened. So everyone is always concerned, especially in a situation when the man is the breadwinner, about and that's right, for him to have a concern of financial abuse, but that goes both ways, because financial deception is about 45% of couples, and in a lot of those scenarios, from experience, you will meet men who have means, who will place you in this emotional as an emotional slave, right?
Yes,
So,
Athena.
so that happens a lot, and that is oftentimes why I've just dismissed men altogether, right? So I just want to say that, as far as pertains to me, I do not care if you are the richest man in Babylon, and if your money is higher than the Trump Tower, Burj Khalifa, wherever. I'm not being no emotional slave. I'm going to be able to voice my opinion within the relationship, and I'm not dating anyone with no street urchin degenerate mindset who will think it is okay to waste my time, energy, love, and spirit, and not commit to me in the ways that matter with fully, and only want me to be a baby carrier and a wife appliance. Being a wife is work and a duty, and I know that because my parents have been married for 40 years, and I've always said that being a wife is work. And that is why I have held such a high standard, because I understand and know that the sacrifices I am going to need to cultivate, I need a man that can match me. And I will die 6 foot in the grave, alone and single, before I crawl and be in the dust with no goddamn street urchin. And I know it is hard, ladies, because we want love, but you cannot have no dusty ass man have you on no 12 years of slave timeline and accepting all kind of nonsense to deal with his ego and emotional issues that he don't want to deal with. Let somebody else fall for that bag and deal with the trauma. But I want a lot of Black women to know and understand their worth and rest, and just, exit out the group chat in certain conversations and let the man figure it out.
Amen. Amen. Let the
Tiara,
church
you got
say
something to
amen.
add? Amen.
Yeah.
Gotta get my church fan for that. Tiara, do you have anything else to add to that?
Well, I being in Hollywood and being around a lot of successful men, that's what I see, Athena. Men that use their power to assert it over the woman, to make her insecure, to make her feel I mean, some of my friends are literally trapped in the house and just waiting for the man to come home, and it just oh my God, that's what that sprang up for me. But I also wanted to add to that is that I have a cousin who was murdered 2 years ago by her husband. And my cousin was very successful. This is another aspect of it. She lifted him up, dusted the dust off him, and put him in position. She helped him build a business. She ran a business, a successful business. In 2020, he lost that business because he wasn't managing it correctly. And he asked my cousin to put himself as a co-owner of the business that she was running. And she said no. And so after that, I don't know. Like, I don't know what happened, but I obviously he started to resent her and hate her and all the things. And she said, like, some days she would wake up and he would just be like standing over her. Like, just there's signs, right? And so finally she left the situation, and he lured her back to the house after 2 months of her being in a hotel. And he had two shotguns, and what happened next. But I just think it says something about the person that you're laying with. I mean, they were together for 16 years. right? And so I think that there's this resentment that never goes away. There's this jealousy, there's this envy. So even women have to be very mindful of the men that they choose. Like, you still, I mean, it's just important. And so I just always think of my cousin, and I would never want to be in a situation like that either, where I'm with someone and I got to just be like, it's okay. You were my dispatcher and I hired you to work at my company. And then I made you, not made you, but I made you. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's what happened. And so to add to that, women also be mindful of that too. Don't be desperate.
Yes, you and someone in chat actually said know your worth. We all do, not just women. Men need to know their worth too, but women, you don't have to just assume that you have to need a man, period. Like that's not saying I don't need a man. It just means know your worth. You don't have to just take anyone to make you feel like you are worth something, because your worth is not tied to someone else. Your worth is tied to you, and it is invaluable. Invaluable. So we're going to take a deep breath. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Are you ready to take your brilliant business idea and turn it into income? So my name is Athena Gardner. I'm a CPA, wealth coach, and also a Fly Nubian Money host. And I am partnering with the Fly Nubian Money Club to bring you this exclusive training called Idea to Income, how to supercharge or elevate your current business and using the power of AI. So in this training that is exclusive only to the Fly Nubian Money Club, you will learn how to take your brilliant business idea and turn it into a money-making machine or elevate a current business if you have one already. You will learn the AI tools that will help you supercharge your business, save time and slash costs. And then you will also have a plan and a strategy in how to execute that flawlessly. So if you're interested in that, please be sure to sign up at the flynubianmoneyclub.com, and I will see you in the training.
Oh, now you got our guy. Listen, y'all, we are rolling. We are rolling on this Fly Nubian Money Club. Athena, tell us about it.
Listen, all right, I know we've talking about a lot about money today, and I know most of y'all ain't got none. So y'all need to come to this training called From Idea to Income on the Fly Nubian Money Club, so where I will help you take your brilliant business ideas and show you how to turn that into cash flow using the power of AI. We're going to utilize my expertise as a CPA and a wealth coach combined with AI to come up with the strategies and plan for you to either create a business or elevate a current one, and how you can get income in fast. Okay. So I want you guys to sign up at the Fly Nubian Money Club. I know Lala did a perfect training and Constance did another one. My training is coming up, but our goal is to help you to get to the level of income so you ain't got to worry about no little baby, whether or not he want to put a ring on it, because you stacked up too.
Amen. 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 FlyNubianMoneyClub.com. Come on.
Yes. I need my church lady hat today.
And for those of you who have not signed up yet, I think there's still a trial going on, correct?
Yes, there's a 30-day trial right now. Constance just blessed us, y'all. If y'all missed, we had 400 people in the training on Saturday. Her blueprint to get to 7 figures for your business or personal brand was amazing. Do you hear me? Like, she taught us and walked us through the entire thing. The training is 2 hours long. You can sit and rewind, go back, write notes. I mean, there was so many gems. So, and then we'll also, for that free trial, also give you access to Lala's training, where she taught us how to buy property, domestic and internationally. And also that, I mean, really, Lala, you set the bar. You set the bar up here, right? So it just gets better and better and better. Y'all, FlyNubianMoneyClub.com.
Listen, my goal for my training is to peel those eyelids back, honey. Y'all about to really walk out trying to do something this year, okay? Yeah. Clearly, we need to do that because we can see the government ain't gonna come to save you if your house on fire or nothing. So everyone needs to sign up for FlyNubianMoneyClub.com and get these trainings so you can elevate yourself and your wealth.
Right. Because last week was Quitters Friday, right? Y'all, I'm gonna
Yes.
hold on to this Quitters Friday for as long as I want to. Everybody, at least 80% of people that set New Year's resolutions quit last Friday.
I
January
busted it.
10th.
I busted the myth. I busted the myth. All of mine are
January
still
10th.
coming.
So my question to you is, have you quit already? Have you given up on yourself already?
And guess what? If you did, that doesn't mean that you have to just commit to defeat. All you do is you get up and you brush your knees off, y'all, and keep moving forward. Maybe you just need to reassess. So that's exactly what you need to do with Fly Nubian Money Club. I'm telling you, you're getting some valuable information. So don't miss out. FlyNubianMoneyClub.com. Now, this hour has gone so fast. I think this is a very interesting conversation. I think we also got a little bit of laughing out of it, but it is very much a serious conversation that we really should have for ourselves, our house, our family, our household, our communities. What does that look like for us? Okay, what does that look like for us? Is a piece of paper that important, or are we okay to move on without it? So, Marlo, I'm going to ask you first. What are your final thoughts, and where can we find you, please?
So my final thoughts are be intentional, right? Whatever you choosing to do, you want to get married, you don't want to get married, just be intentional. This idea of planting your seed all over the earth and neglecting those children and leaving society to deal with the runoff is crazy. This idea of thinking that you can adopt the lives of celebrities who live very different lives than us a lot of times, like just in terms of access, and they got people doing shit for them. Stop, focus, get in your own lane, be intentional about your money, about your work, about your love, about your kids. It's time out for silly season. It's time out for throwing drinks and Real Housewives bullshit. All of that, throw that away. Intention is going to be the name of the game from here moving forward. Be intentional. If you're looking for me, you can be intentional about looking for me because my Instagram handle is right there on the screen. And you can follow me, and I will start tracking my dietary woes as I attack a goal of my own, where I am trying to, I will enter a amateur bodybuilding competition. So I'm changing my mindset so that I can change my body. So if you want to roll with me, holla at your girl. I'll be over there. Over Marlo. That's me.
Oh, she gonna be over there too, y'all. We following her. We
Sexy.
watching her do her thing. We gonna see
It is
her do her
sexy.
thing.
It is sexy.
She is doing the thing, y'all. She is on a really fun journey that we all have our pom poms up for her, Marlo. We are cheering you on from the sidelines. We are watching you and excited for you, and we are going to watch you succeed. You already busted the Quitters Day, babe. You already busted the Quitters Day. So, Athena, what is your final thoughts, and where can we find you, love?
The final thoughts I have is that we need to be adults. Listen, if the Palisades, LA wildfires have not taught you everything, is that you can be in a high mansion today and on the street tomorrow. Okay. Mm-hmm. We do not know when, what time, what hour, what situation is going to cause things in life. And now's the time to really hold fast, build community, and focus on the things that matter. Love, respect, commitment. Black people, we want all these things, yet very few of us are doing the things necessary to advance us. And we are a collective. So the small can't do it for everybody. The small can't do it for everybody. However, if you are a woman specifically and you don't want to worry about the emotional and financial abuse that you may experience within relationship or having to beg a man to choose you, and you want to rest comfortably and enjoy the wealth that you deserve, you can head on over to elevatewithathena.com and check out my Goddess Guide to Money. And it will lay out for you money, abundance, and relationships. And as a woman, how you need to incorporate that within your life, whether you are marrying or dating a street urchin or a wealthy man like Lil Baby. If you want to find me on my programs, my social media handles, and my podcasts are available at the link elevatewithathena.com. And be sure to sign up for the Fly Nubian Money Club because my training is up next and I will help you take your idea and turn it into income.
That's what we need. We all need to be making sure that we are taking care of our financial households, because ultimately we are the ones who have to look for us. We can't depend on the government. We can't depend on others. You have to make sure that you protect your financial house, all right, as well as your mind and spirit as well. We are all about protecting it all because we get one ride around this rodeo and we want it to be something pleasurable, fun. And at the end of your life, you could say, I did that, instead of I wish I coulda, woulda, shoulda. Now, Tiara, what is your final thoughts and where can we find you?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we all just have to do what works for us. I've learned to mind the business that pays me and that is my own. We are all still trying to figure out this thing called life, still trying to figure out what the right steps are for us. And so I think we have to, when we're watching other people just kind of play out their lives, we got to kind of give them grace and say, okay, well, that's their perspective. That's where they are. That's their capacity, right? But it also makes me think, the comments have made me understand that there are men out here that are hurt. Clearly, we've had a lot of conversation from Limitless and Anonymous about what Black women don't bring to the table. That lets me know that likely they, either the two of them are ugly and bitter and without a big penis and without, like, they just got all the energy that tells me that don't know want a woman don't want you. They don't want you. They don't want you. That's not the man that we want. That's not the energy that Black women want. So I just wanted to say that really quick, that Limitless is our Dusty of the day. If there's a, if we got a donkey of the day, we're gonna call Limitless our Dusty of the day because it's obvious. Go ahead and take your crown, sir.
Dust.
You are Dusty AF out here, and we don't want it. We don't want no parts of that. But listen, all jokes aside, if you are interested in, if you're interested in coming to the Fly Nubian Money Club, we would love to have you. I just want to keep reminding you all to move forward and put yourself in a position. I am currently in Los Angeles. The city is burning. People are lighting the city on fire. Just to be, this what makes these wildfires scary and different is that people in the city are just getting on a whim and lighting the city on fire. So you don't know if it's your neighbor lighting the city on fire, lighting bushes on fire for no apparent reason, just for wickedness, just to be evil, so that's what makes this scary. There are no dry vegetation. It is wintertime. It is 50 degrees outside. That's, whatever the news says is not what it is. So I just want to just encourage you all to be safe, be blessed, and really just start to think about, ladies, think about your own finances and just making sure that you're taking care of you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that we all agree with that. Now, listen, here's my final thought. It all comes down once again to, I say it every time, communication. If you want to be an adult and you want to live in a certain relationship and you want it to go the way that you want it to go, you just have to sit down and talk about it. Don't make assumptions before moving forward. You need to be on the same page. There is a reason my husband and I have been married for over 30 years. Yeah, we were good friends before then, so we had good communication then. We understood each other. But just as I said, even knowing him from the age of 14 until we got married at 23 years old, when we had our marriage counseling, it brought up things that we didn't talk about, but we were grown enough to know that we needed to actually chat about them in order to make us successful in a marriage. And one thing that we did decide, and we looked at each other in the face before standing in front of that preacher, is that we wanted to be one of the couples that made it. We wanted to be the rocking chair grandma and grandpa, okay? That was important to us. So when things came up that were bumpy, we made sure that we reminded one another of what was important to us in the first place to help us get over that hurdle. That's what you have to do. Stop blaming, stop shaming, stop thinking that there's no one out there for you when you don't want to communicate. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Simple as that. And I've got a lot of good free resources for you as well. And now you can find it on my website at www.laurakey.net. If you're thinking about moving abroad, I got you. Let's talk about what that looks like. Let's talk about what that means in your life and some things that you may be facing that you didn't think about. I have a free quiz that will help you assess if that's something that you want to do, and that is on my page. Now, with that being said, also on my page, just as Tiara has mentioned, I am an agent in Los Angeles, California, as well as other states, but I have many clients in LA who have lost their homes. They've lost their homes. I've had 4 clients lose their homes. So listen, if you want to help and you don't even know where to begin, you can also go to my webpage. There is a free resource button for you that you can see who needs donations, where people are getting fed, who needs what, who needs shelter, who needs water, pets, elderly. You have to think about everything. So there is a resource page there for you. I don't ask you much, but I am asking you today, please go to that resource page and do something today to help someone else. Because if the shoe were on the other foot, you would want that help as well. Okay. So today's discussion has been extremely eye-opening. Yeah, it really has for me. Whether it's Lil Baby's stance on legal marriage or the importance of protecting your wealth, we've covered a lot of ground. So love and money are deeply connected, but that doesn't mean that have to be at odds. With the right conversations, legal protections, and mutual respect, couples can find ways to build love and wealth together. So thank you for joining us on Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. I am Laura, international real estate agent, and I was your host for today. And remember, whether it's about love or money, making informed decisions is the ultimate flex. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be blessed. Bye.
The dust.